In the next 30 minutes of Business Live, Governor of the Bank of Ghana hints of a possible unchanged policy rate during the next Monetary Policy Committee meeting. We have the details. Exports to the United Kingdom under threat as government struggles to reach new trade deal. Meanwhile, current challenge is pushing some manufacturing firms to possibly shut down, leading to some job losses. And ahead of the first ever Diaspora Business Breakfast Show by the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, we engaged the Chief Executive, Yofi Grant. We have all that and more coming up in a bit. I am Israelite. Do stay tuned in. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, with the support of Beyond the Return Secretariat, is organizing the first edition of the Diaspora Business Breakfast meeting aimed at harnessing the network of opportunities within the diaspora. Engaging the diaspora community is important because research shows that it brings an inconsiderable amount of remittances, estimated at over $3 billion as of 2019. Chief Executive Officer of the GIPC, Yofi Grant, joins us via Zoom with more. Good evening. Now, this event comes at a time when many in the diaspora have questions unanswered about doing business in the country. Walk us through some of the topics expected to be discussed tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Israel. And as you can see, I'm here with the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, who is a partner in the Beyond the Return activities. And post year of return, it was very clear that the diaspora itself presented a unique opportunity of us retying an umbilical cord with the Ghanaian diaspora, but also the African American diaspora, into bringing back value into our economies. And so over the past few months, we've been engaging under the auspices of the Year of the Return and Beyond the Year of the Return, which set up a committee which was set up by the Ghana Tourist Authority to see to how we can optimize the relationships with the diaspora. And additionally, earlier this year, the president, in the discussion on the diaspora and the engagement of the diaspora, also suggested that perhaps we should have an investment desk at the GIPC to focus on diaspora matters. And so we did set up the diaspora desk, and we're just only waiting for the policy to go through cabinet and be approved in parliament on the diaspora policy to make sure that we have all the necessary protocols in place to engage the diaspora in a structured way for investments and for national development. And so that is the reason that we are holding this first breakfast, which is a collaboration between GIPC, who indeed is a member of the Beyond the Return Committee, and then the Ghana Tourist Authority, which actually set up the Beyond the Return Committee. Now, the intention in the Beyond the Return Committee is not just financial. It has many perspectives, but all which impinge on economic development. So there's culture, there's arts, there's entertainment, and all these are business opportunities for us and for the diaspora. And so for us, it was important to do this first breakfast, especially under the auspices of the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, which is the overall supervisor of this whole effort, and the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, who are part of seeing to the policy framework being done, as well as the Office of the Diaspora at the Presidency. And the breakfast will enumerate some of the issues that we have and that we've put together that we need to discuss or have a conversation about to make it smooth and easy for the diaspora to engage systematically and in a structured way in the economy.
All right, thanks, Israel. I think Yofi has almost said it all. Basically, after the Year of Return, we needed to have that follow-up. People returned, and so what was the next logical step? And so putting together the various pillars that we have, people coming in, experiencing the country, creating proper pathways for people wanting to either visit Ghana or gain citizenship was quite essential. But the key foundation of it all was investment. And so in partnership with the GIPC, we are looking at ways that we can set out and roll out a proper framework for diaspora investments. I believe tomorrow at the breakfast session, we'll start that conversation on how we go beyond just a conversation, how we go just beyond just a visit to what are the key things that can be put in place or have been put in place or in the pipeline for that diaspora investment. Because the feedback we got in 2019 with all the visits that we had was, yes, we love what we have seen, we love the culture, we love the people, we love the country, but we want to do more. And doing more is that economic engagement, and that is what we expect to see tomorrow.
Congratulations to you, Mr. Kwesi Agyemang, on winning the Marketing Man of the Year. All right, but then I want to come to you, Mr. Yofi Grant. Who are the people we're expecting to join this conversation? Are we expecting individuals in the Ghanaians in the diaspora, or we actually are looking at businesses, Ghanaian businesses in the diaspora?
We are looking at Ghanaians in the diaspora and Ghanaian businesses in the diaspora, but also engaged in the conversation will be the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration and the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning. So all the usual suspects that make an economy or an economic ecosystem work will be there. There will also be Ghanaians, individuals in the diaspora who have certain pathways to actually optimize the opportunity of the diaspora in the economy. And so we are putting all these, and there'll be Ghanaian business people also in the conversation.
And indeed, a lot of the time, you mentioned the Ghanaian business people, but a lot of the time, the question that comes up or the concerns that comes up is that we tend to favor people who are coming from outside as against the Ghanaian businesses that are actually in country. Do we have any special arrangement for them?
I dare to say that that is an anomalous thought. It is not true that we tend to favor those from outside here. And I can tell you, those who come from outside and set up businesses here have challenges bigger than our indigenous people who have challenges. I mean, I know because I was part of Data Bank, which is a major investment or initiative that came from the diaspora. Ken Oforiatta himself was from the diaspora. Kelly Gajipu was also from the diaspora. And there are many more others who have come to Ghana to set up businesses and have struggled. Patrick Ewa from Ashesi is one, and there are many others. But that does not mean that, therefore, there is no engagement and we should leave the diaspora to come and struggle like the others. The diaspora comes with capital. It comes with state-of-the-art management. It comes with new practice, global practices, which we all together learn. And so there's a certain mutuality that comes from the engagement. We also have on-the-ground experience and knowledge. So it's international capital matched with on-the-ground experience to make a mutually winning proposition. And the diaspora in any country has always been an inseparable part of their development. If you take the US on its own is a country made out of immigrants. If you look at China sent people outside to go and learn and come back. The same with India, the same with many other countries. And you realize that many of those changes or the new things that happen in the countries were ideas brought in by the diaspora. We learn from each other. Development has never been necessarily organically originated. It's always learning ideas from somewhere else. And indeed, even if you look at civilization, it's said that the cradle of civilization was Africa. So in the most developed parts of the world, they must have learned things from what they saw in Africa or Africans who went there. So we believe that it's about time that we leverage all that knowledge, all that capital, all that skill that is coming from developed countries and also apply it to our own to develop.
Now, all this is happening at a time that we're having the COVID-19 pandemic. And there are those who say that if we don't position ourselves as a country that is tackling COVID really well, we can have all the talk, but we're unlikely to have the people come in to do some actual business. Is that something that's part of the conversation?
I'll probably let Akwesi answer this. But I'll tell you for sure that if you look at the globe today, Ghana was, actually rated the third best country managing the COVID pandemic. So the tendency rather would be for people to come here because this is where things are being done well. And if you take what happened after Black Lives Matter, I have had a number of calls from people in the diaspora, African Americans, other Africans, in the diaspora from the West Indies and the Caribbeans, who are indeed, I don't think I should use the word West Indies, the Caribbeans, that are interested in coming here because they realize that things are happening here and good things are happening here. Maybe Akwesi has a...
Yeah, I think, as you rightly said, if you look at the data that we have and the conversations that are currently ongoing, Ghana is in the spotlight. A lot of the diasporans who were here last year are looking to come back. And globally, the spotlight has been on us because of the excellent leadership in managing the COVID situation. I mean, yes, other countries are experiencing the second waves. We also have a few challenges here and there, but by and large, the president has shown excellent leadership in managing the situation. And I believe we are at a phase where we are preparing for post-COVID. And so, as they say, proper planning prevents poor performance. We are getting ourselves ready. There have been conversations that are ongoing. Last month, we had a master class with several film producers, music producers looking at Ghana. I mean, if you look at what had happened between Beyonce and Shatta Wale, several collaborations that are currently ongoing. I mean, tonight, for example, there's an animation masterclass that is happening with Baron Davis, one of the NBA superstars. Ghana is still in the spotlight. And so we want to keep that top of mind awareness of Ghana as a destination, not just for cultural activities, but also for investment. And I believe with the data that we have and the excellent partnership that we formed with JIPC, this will be just beginning of making sure that post-COVID and even within that pandemic era, we are one of the countries that people look up to for investments.
All right, the event comes up at the Marriott Hotel at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Tell us about the various channels one can catch the breakfast meeting, of course, right here on JoyNews.
Well, we do have all the social media channels actually being made live. We also have Twitter also will be tweeting out stuff that is happening, that the conversations being had. And I believe that multimedia itself will be our partner in this engagement and will beam it out live somewhere. And we do thank you for that. But yes, we should engage. It's good also for people who may not be able to come there because we have the limited space and because of the COVID pandemic, we are only limited to 120 people in the space. But on the platforms, you are free to engage, and we'll be happy to have as many people join the conversations.
So how about those in the diaspora who would want to be part of the conversation? Is there a Zoom link that is going to be put up for them?
Yes, there is going to be a Zoom link that will be put up for them. There will be live feeds both on Facebook and I believe Twitter will also.
I think also on the Beyond the Return platforms are also being made live, and already we've seen a steady flow of people wanting to be part of it. I mean, since the first posters went out, the Secretariat has received a lot of emails and people wanting to be part of this conversation. And that is very, very encouraging for us. I mean, knowing that indeed people are still looking up to us as an investment destination.
All right, thank you very much, Yofi Grant and Akwesi Ajemang. And if you should miss it at all, you know that if you come to JoyNews, you're going to get it. It's also going to be live on our YouTube channel as well. So do tune in tomorrow, and you're going to have the best of what's happening in Ghana and beyond. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Israel.
Now, chances of Ghana's tourism sector meeting at least 40% of its revenue target for this year are slim. This is because the country lost an estimated revenue of $171 million in a space of 4 months from March to June because of the coronavirus pandemic. Speaking with Joy Business, the chief executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwesi Ajemang, said plans are underway to recoup monies lost to the global disruption.
Last year we did 1.13. In the first quarter of the year, we did another 250. So give or take, we were expecting to do the numbers. But now, as we speak, if we're able to do even 400,000 this year, then that's a miracle, because from 250 throughout March till September, there were no flights coming in. And so the borders, land borders have also been closed. But we've seen a gradual movement. And so if we are doing about 400, 500,000, then that would be a very great success story, even within COVID. But that will also be saying that the first quarter of this year was quite good for us. January, February, March. In March, we had a very big delegation coming out from the attorneys generals from the US. And so we're all poised for a resounding success in 2020, but COVID had other plans for us. So we are cautiously optimistic that things will be better.
So finally, what more should we expect from the authority moving into 2021?
Our new strategy going forward is to look at domestic first. So we are coming back with our See Ghana, Eat Ghana, Wear Ghana campaign, phase 2. We're looking at regional. So once the land borders are also open, Nigeria is a big market for us. Last year we had Nigerians coming in about number 2 in the number of people coming into country. And so we will go back to our West African partners on the West Africa integration travel that we had. Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire are all key source markets for us. And so we'll target that before we start moving even Africa-wide and then globally.
That was the Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwesi Agyemang, who spoke with Joy Business at the 31st CIMG National Marketing Performance Awards, where he emerged the Marketing Man of the Year. Meanwhile, the group CEO of Hollard Ghana, Patience Achanu, was also recognized as the CIMG Marketing Woman of the Year, while the Marketing Manager of Farm Milk, Edwin Amako, emerged the Marketing Practitioner of the Year. Now, the Multimedia Group also won 4 awards: Media Organization of the Year 2019, Radio Program of the Year 2019, New Media Campaign of the Year 2019, and Digital Media of the Year 2019. Also at the second edition of the Ghana Cocoa Awards Networking and Gala Night, the Chief Executive of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahengedu, called for massive consumption of cocoa products in the country to increase revenue for the commodity, whilst they're creating job opportunities. According to him, there is enormous potential within the cocoa industry. More in the following report.
The awards gala night at the Kempinski Hotel in Accra recognized the hard work of some Ghanaian cocoa farmers, individuals and companies operating within the country's cocoa value chain. Speaking to Joy Business, the Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahengedu, called for massive consumption of cocoa products to boost the country's revenue from the commodity.
The other step that we have to note will be processing. If you can do more processing, and also if we can consume. You see, that's the crux of the matter. If we here can consume cocoa, and it will mean that as we produce, we consume, and it will generate local economy here. And there's money. Once you are processing and value adding, it generates a new economy altogether. As I said today, if you look at even the population of Africa, we are now about 1.3 billion, and it's a very young population. The median is 90. It means that many of we Africans are young. And when you are young and you are eating chocolate, there's no problem. It is only when you are 40 years going, that's where you get so much concern about sugar. And when you take any bar of chocolate, it's cocoa, sugar, and milk. But cocoa is a key ingredient that's needed by the human body. It's not a sugar. So once you hit 50, 60 years, you have to be careful taking chocolate. That's why consumption is flat in Europe and in America.
At the same program, head of Cocoa Life program in Ghana, Yapepra Mekuji, also called on cocoa farmers to pay attention to their farm trees by ensuring regular water supply to their farms.
Today's awards is I would say that it creates awareness, and it also encourages all of us in the value chain to give of our best. Cocoa farmers are working hard, but if they work hard, they harvest, and we don't have the transporters, we don't have the processors, and we don't even have the consumers, then we are in big trouble. But now we have Ghanaian population. We've started consuming cocoa in various forms, and that is good for cocoa farmers. Again, the weather is not too lenient on cocoa farmers now because it's too hot and it's not raining as much as it should. So this is the time that we need to be encouraging ourselves, especially cocoa farmers, that we should plant more shade trees. We should look at irrigation facilities or irrigation systems, especially the drip system, and ensure that we have enough water on our cocoa farms, and again to ensure that we have shade for our cocoa trees.
Meanwhile, JoyNews' investigative journalist Kwete Nate won Ghana's Cocoa Journalist of the Year award.